There we go. Woo! Hello, YouTube. Hello. All right, everybody. All right, TikTok is going to take a second. I don't even have the microphone set up for TikTok. 1 second here. All right, TikTok. Okay, I'm going to have to change everything for TikTok. TikTok, so difficult. Difficult. All right. Live. All right. Hang on. Doop. All right. That's good. Give me a second here. You get to see how the sausage is made. Me trying to set stuff up on TikTok. TikTok's a little bit of a pain trying to get it like set up. It takes time. All right. I think we're ready. Go live. Let's try it. Woo, woo, woo. Yes, my hair. Although I just got it cut, so it's going to look funky. The first couple days, although it's short, the first couple days, it's always a little different too. You know what I mean? When you get a haircut. Oh, there we go. All right. Welcome, TikTokers, YouTubers, Discordians. How are we all doing this evening? I'm good now. Today wasn't such a busy day, but the haircut threw a wrench in it. Thank you. I warned everybody the hair was going. Everybody likes it curly, but it's a pain in the ass when it's curly in the summertime, especially. So I've decided, since a friend last year convinced me to cut it short, I don't dislike it short. So I've decided I cut it really short and then I let it get long for 3 months. And then I cut it really short and then I let it get long for 3 months. And that way I get to experience both. So, I mean, it's funny. This short, the front confuses me. Like I had her cut the front shorter because I wasn't sure what to do with it, but it confuses me a little. But you know, haircuts are funny. I think like so many things, it's hard to judge yourself. You know what I mean? Like it reminds me of looking at photos of yourself, and I'll have friends I'll be like, okay, which of these photos, which looks best? And they always pick the photo that I go, really? Right? And I wonder if haircuts aren't the same way, that it's very difficult for us to look at a haircut and go, oh no, that haircut looks good on you. Because to me right now, it just looks short, you know? So anyway, Yasudario. Anyway, welcome everybody. Lynn is in Montreal. Oh no, he's in Montreal. Thank you, Dario. So welcome, guys. Sounds weird? Sound should be okay. Sounds not good? Actually, wait, you know what? I do have the sound. Let me turn the sound back down. There we go. I had the sound turned up for doing my TikTok videos. The mic's plugged in. All right, how's it now? I turned the sound down. A little muddled. Let's try this. Let's unplug and replug for TikTok. There. TikTok doesn't always like it when the microphone is plugged in when I start. I had the microphone set up when I started the show, and it doesn't always like that. That's weird. It's better now. That's so weird. Yeah. Whatever it is, TikTok I've got my good mic, and again, it's my good mic, but it's plugged into the iPad, and when I start the show, it doesn't like it unless I plug it in after the show starts, which makes no sense at all. Anyway, weird. Yeah, too high though. That's the other issue. I had it louder. Unfortunately, it's got to be louder when it's got to be louder when I do recordings and softer when I do the show, which is crazy. Very weird. Thank you for the gifts, guys. So anyway, welcome everybody. It's Monday, July 21st. There's actually a number of interesting Ukraine stories today, which we'll get to. Very interesting, actually. Like Trump is actually doing the right stuff. It's a little weird. I mean, and we can talk about it because I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. But there are a number of U.S. stories as well to talk about. Mexican leader talking about taking California back. That's cute. Probably not helpful. If I were a Mexican, my guess is going to be it was like a Mexican member of Congress or something. That kind of stuff isn't helpful with Donald Trump. So I'm not sure that's the wisest thing to say, to be honest. It just makes it harder. The U.S. is bigger than Mexico. Trump is going to screw around with them if they start saying things like that. Even though it's stupid what they're saying, he's going to mess around with you. Not helpful. So anyway. Oh, and now it's crackly on YouTube. That we discerned is a YouTube problem. because what happened the other day was my microphone was crackly on YouTube. And if you remember, YouTube, like the show crashed. And when I restarted the show, the microphone was fine, which makes me think that's a YouTube problem. And I'm going to guess on Discord, there's no crackling microphone today, right? And Discord and YouTube literally have the same connection because you're both via my computer. TikTok's via my iPad, but you guys literally should be hearing the same. Actually, TikTok too. Everything's through my through my microphone going into my computer. So any crackling should be all three of you, but it's not because this is a YouTube problem, which is really freaking annoying. No, it drives me crazy because this is a YouTube thing. Yeah. Anyway, all right, all good. So the first thing I wanted to start with was Donald Trump's tweets last night. Trump, as you know, he doesn't really tweet on Twitter. He tweets on his social media platform, Truth Social. I want to read you a description of each of the 17 tweets Donald Trump sent last night. Now, it's entirely possible he's trying to change the story from Epstein. It also sounds kind of crazy at the same time. Listen to this, what Trump tweeted last night. He posted a 3-minute captionless video with clips of a bikini-clad woman picking up and tossing a snake. He posted a man somersaulting around a dowel down a stairway. He posted a red Lamborghini careening beneath a truck. He posted a man jumping a fence and coming face to face with a speeding train. Trump also posted last night a separate post on social media of a woman breakdancing. Then he posted an optical illusion of a conference room. Then he posted a billiards trick. Then he posted a man hacking away at some rock formation. Then he posted a dirt biker stunting on a trail. Then he posted a jet ski. Then he posted a man ascending an obstacle course with a ladder. Then Trump posted a man jump roping. Then Trump posted, what was this? A man pulling a block from a still standing massive Jenga tower. I'm reading you the 17 different tweets Trump sent out last night on his social media platform. What each one, 17. Okay, 17. Then he tweeted a man tossing trash into a dumpster from his balcony. Then he tweeted a man doing a flip. Then he tweeted a person carrying a heavy object on their shoulders. Then he tweeted a man juggling a dropped package of paper towels. And finally, Trump last night tweeted a man doing a skateboard trick. I mean, this is not normal. I don't think this detracts from Epstein. I mean, I know that's part of his goal with some of this stuff. This kind of stuff just makes you seem crazy. If Joe Biden was doing this, if Joe Biden were doing this, they would all say Biden had dementia, right? Biden was out of his mind. The Republicans would say, it's not the Republicans, the media would say Biden was out of his mind if Biden did this. Really crazy, really freaking crazy stuff here. Trump announced this weekend his new budget. He wants to shut down every major U.S. observatory tracking climate change. Let me read you this. This is my script I wrote for TikTok. From Hawaii to Alaska to the South Pole, these stations track carbon dioxide, methane, and other heat-trapping gases. They give scientists the data they need to understand how fast the planet is heating, where it's happening, and what's causing it. This is how we detect the early warning signs of heat waves, megafires, deadly hurricanes, floods, droughts, and toxic air events. Without this data coming from the observatories Trump wants to shut down, we're flying blind. No way to monitor the buildup to disaster. No way to know if our policies are working. That's one of the things these facilities do is they don't just monitor climate change. They let us know the various policies we're taking. Are they helping? Are they hurting? Are things getting even better? When I say getting better, I mean, are they getting less worse? Is it getting worse more slowly? One of the sites being cut, Mauna Loa in Hawaii, has tracked carbon dioxide levels since 1958. It gave us the Keeling curve, the proof that fossil fuels are driving global warming. Trump wants to erase it. This isn't about saving money. It's going to save very little money closing down these facilities. This is about killing climate science. This is about Trump, unfortunately, it's Trump and his party, unfortunately, attacking science. And we are seeing, and we saw it in 2000 with the pandemic. We're seeing it with this. We're seeing it with RFK Jr. and vaccines. We are seeing on point after point after point, they are literally accusing experts of being ignorant. I saw somebody the other day, this weatherman we've got in DC, Matthew Capucci, who's very good. Somebody was going after him because Capucci was one of the things the Republicans are pushing now are the conspiracy theories about chemical contrails. Basically, the exhaust that comes out of the back of a plane and how it condenses in the air, and the condensation forms like a cloud trail outside a plane, right? Well, the conspiracy people claim it's, poison or chemicals, or it's a secret government plot to do something to the air. And Florida, actually, Trump's EPA director, Trump's director of the Environmental Protection Agency, the top environmental official in America, tweeted in support of the conspiracy theory last week or 2 weeks ago. This stuff is crazy. Capucci weighed in and said, this stuff is crazy. It's literally like condensation from a plane. And some MAGA guy jumped in and started attacking Capucci for going to Harvard and studying climate science. He attacked him for this. He goes, oh, like you know anything. You went to Harvard to study, 10 years ago, you were studying climate science. And I mean, not climate, to be a weatherman. And I finally jumped in and I was like, yes, he went to Harvard and that's his education for becoming a weatherman. That somehow means he knows less than us. Like in normal society, that means he knows more than us, not he knows less. But there is this attack on expertise that is very, very scary. Jeffrey, those tweets were all last night, probably within a couple hours. This is pretty freaky. I mean, this is really pretty freaky. Godfather, you're leaving us for a while. I'm sorry, mods, but mute that Godfather person. I'm sorry, but I'm not. We just are not going to tolerate the conspiracy theory crap. Really not. This stuff is crazy. It's hurting our country. And the thing is, we've tolerated this stuff too long. And what did it get us? It get us mistreatment of the pandemic, right? I mean, that was botched left and right. It got people not trusting vaccines. It got RFK Jr. as head of all health policy in America, making crazy claims like his people actually falsely claimed that polio isn't caused by polio. His people falsely claimed that the polio vaccine doesn't work when the polio vaccine has in fact been like the most successful medical miracle in probably history. This is what you get. You get denial of not just climate change, but you get people like Trump literally dismantling. My nose is going to itch again today. I hope that woman isn't here who got upset last time my nose itched. You get people not just denying climate change. They are dismantling everything in the U.S. government that would monitor climate change. I mean, and measles is back. Waiting just said measles is back with a vengeance. And it is. Measles is back in America. America almost had measles beat. And now measles is back. Because, and again, and I've seen this time and again, and it kind of blows my mind. The notion, and this is kind of a uniquely American thing, this lack of trust in experts. The problem is you've got a political party that is embracing this theme, the idea that experts don't know anything, right? The media, and they did a beautiful job going after the media. The media are experts. So they said, oh, don't trust the media. Well, of course, because the media are the experts. You shouldn't trust them. And now they're saying, don't trust scientists. I've heard people say, well, scientists sometimes, like on COVID, they got a couple things wrong. And I'm like, okay, so if a scientist got a couple things wrong, that means in the future you won't trust scientists and instead you'll trust Joe Rogan? Like, really? I mean, like if there's an airplane crash and a pilot screws up, that means in the future you don't want pilots flying planes, you want amateurs flying planes because, hey, pilots sometimes make mistakes. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but they're applying it to everything, absolutely everything. It's very scary. I mean, there's a reason they're dismantling, and they've dismantled really the Department of Education, right? But it is a very uniquely American thing. It's a very uniquely American thing. Well, that's a good point too. Keegan says they got it wrong by following the scientific method, right? In science, you don't get everything right, and that's part of it too. But again, it is an anti-intellectual approach to things, right? You could imagine a child going, aha, you got something wrong. Now we should never trust you. When like everyone in history gets something wrong, right? I mean, we all get things wrong. That doesn't mean that doesn't show whether you were honest, right? You can get something wrong because you're honest. You can get something wrong because you're dishonest. It also doesn't show whether you have a propensity to get things wrong, right? Now, I did not see that. Somebody else mentioned this too. Trump posted an AI generated video of Obama getting arrested. You know, again, we are entering very dangerous territory here. The MAGA people are putting out claims that Trump and Biden, I should say Biden and Obama and their top officials committed treason. They're claiming, like, this weekend. This is, by the way, this is to get attention away from the Epstein story. This is Donald Trump's revenge, but it's also to get attention away from Donald Trump's connections to Jeffrey Epstein and the fact that Trump is refusing to release the Jeffrey Epstein files that he promised he was going to release, and now he's refusing. So that's what this is about, but it still is incredibly dangerous. It's incredibly dangerous. Again, let's see, but you know, it's just, yeah. Anyway, what else we got here? Oh, this was kind of a funny story. I mean, funny. It's an FAFO story, F around, find out story. So listen to this. Derek Huffman, Texas dad, YouTubers, self-proclaimed fan of traditional values, moved his entire family to Vladimir Putin's Russia in 2025. He wanted to escape woke America, so he moved his kids and his wife to Russia. He thought he'd found freedom. Instead, Russia handed him a rifle, drafted with 2 weeks of training in a language he doesn't speak. So the Russians told him, you can get extra special quick Russian citizenship in just a year for you and your family. All you have to do is volunteer for the military, but we'll make sure you'll be a welder or a war correspondent. You won't go to fight. You'll just do, right? You'll just do like the easy stuff back home, like JD Vance. JD Vance went and was a correspondent, basically. He didn't fight. You can Google it. He wanted to do that, where basically he was promised, you're not going to fight. Well, they gave him 2 weeks training. This is the guy who left America with his family to go to Russia because we're too woke and he wanted family values. They gave him 2 weeks training in Russian. He didn't understand a word because it was in Russian. They made him buy his own military supplies. They gave him a gun. And with 2 weeks training, the guy who signed up to be a welder or a military correspondent, they sent to the Ukrainian front. He's now missing. His wife is desperately trying to find him. The Russians will not respond, right? The Russians will not respond to him. They've ghosted her, basically. They can't get an answer. The payments, the Russians were supposed to give them payments because now he's part of the military. The Russians aren't giving any money, so she has no money because he's gone. He's missing in Ukraine now. The Russians aren't giving the salary payment that you get being a Russian soldier. It's kind of amazing. I'd said in my TikTok video on this, this is what you get when Tucker Carlson is your travel agent. I mean, and they brought their kids there too. So the wife, this is an American MAGA YouTuber who decided to go to Russia this year with his wife and kids because America was too woke, gays and all that, trans and all that kind of stuff. So he decided to go to Russia where they have real family values. And the Russians, I'll repeat it really quick, the Russians convinced him that if you really want Russian citizenship, join the military, and within 1 year, we'll make you a citizen and we'll let you leave. And we'll promise you that we'll give you a desk job. You can be like a welder, or you could even be a writer, like a war correspondent, but we're not going to send you to Ukraine. So what did they do? They gave him 2 weeks training in Russian. Of course, he speaks no Russian. 2 weeks training in Russian, made him buy all of his own equipment, and they sent him to the front in Ukraine, and he's now missing. I mean, man, oh well. Ukraine news. There's a lot of Ukraine news. Ukraine's Air Force says Russia launched 426 drones and 24 missiles across the country overnight, but only 23 drones hit their targets. That's good news. The third round of Ukraine-Russia peace talks are set for July 23rd, according to Zelensky. There's a number of very interesting stories today on Ukraine. Here we go. The U.S. and Germany have agreed to deliver 5 Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine. Speaking during the 29th Ukraine Defense Contact Group meeting, German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius said he reached the agreement with U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth during a trip to Washington. So the U.S. and Germany are going to send 5 Patriot defense systems to Ukraine. That's huge because that sounds like it's the whole system, which means they could potentially protect more cities. Anyway, that's a huge deal. This next story is fascinating. I want to read this to you, and then we're going to talk about it. The U.S. is urging Europe to join potential secondary tariffs on Russian oil. Let me give you the background. So Trump, like last Monday or whatever it was, when he was making the big announcement about Russia. Thank you, Laddie. Thank you, Tom. Keep the gifts coming, guys. I forgot to make the gift pitch, but I do this for a living. Your gifts pay the bills, so please keep them coming. Consider subscribing as well, TikTok and YouTube. So Trump... I'm trying to see what was I talking about here? Oh, the secondary tariffs. Trump announces a week ago that he's pissed at Russia. Putin is not serious about peace with Ukraine. And Trump says, in 50 days, 50, I'm going to put tariffs on every Russian good sold in America. The problem is Russia doesn't sell much at all in America, like next to nothing, especially now that we've had a lot of sanctions on them. Trump also says, I'm going to put secondary tariffs on people who buy Russian oil. That's huge. Now, secondary tariffs mean anybody like India and China who buy Russian energy, oil, natural gas. Trump, thank you, Blue. Trump claimed that if you buy energy from Russia, he will put 100% tariffs on anything you try to sell to America. So if India or China buy gas or oil from Russia, Trump says he will put 100% tariff on anything the Indians or the Russians try to sell in America. That would be huge. Thank you for all the gifts, guys. That would be huge. That would be hugely punishing. Very interesting. So the White House gets asked about that right after Trump says it, and the White House kind of backs off and says, well, we're considering it, this kind of thing, right? Well, listen to this now. It's from the news today. This is from U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. I urge our European allies who have talked a big game to follow us if we implement these secondary tariffs. Russian oil is going to be subject to up to 100% secondary tariffs, Bessent said. I urge our European allies to follow us as we implement these tariffs. Put aside for a moment the fact that the Trump people are claiming the Europeans are bad on support of Ukraine, whatever. What is interesting is, well, actually, a couple things. One, the fact that the Trump people are trying to shame the Europeans to be harsher towards Russia is great. I mean, that's great. Europe has been great anyway, but the point is Donald Trump's people have been told by Trump to try to push Europe to be even harsher towards Russia. That's great news, right? In terms of showing where Trump is. Second of all, Bessent is making clear that Trump is seriously considering secondary sanctions. That's huge. If Trump were to put secondary sanctions, it would be devastating for Russia. 40% of Russia's federal budget comes from energy sales. Literally the national budget of Russia, right? 40% of the money that the Russian government spends every year comes from the sale of energy. If we were able to put these tariffs on them, it would be a disaster for them. This is wild. We try to figure out what's going on with Trump with all of this. It's not easy. Thank you. Who is that? Thank you. Thank you, LM for the antipasto salad and succeed for the surfing bear. It's not easy to figure out with Trump what's going on. He vacillates. He waffles. Hold on. Alexa, raise the temperature 1 degree. But this is a big deal. Currently, Trump is not happy with Putin. Currently, Trump is making a lot of good threats. Let's see if he follows through. But, this is better than the alternative. It's better than Trump attacking. Thank you, Big Hawk. It's better than Trump doing the alternative, which is attacking Ukraine, attacking Zelensky, right? This is did I say sanctions? I meant tariffs. Yeah, tariffs, not sanctions. Sorry. Yes, tariffs. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I mean, the whole thing is just kind of blowing my mind here. Yeah, it's just it's very weird. It's very weird. A little bit more here. Russia aims, this is not good news. Russia aims to be able to launch 2,000 drones towards Ukraine simultaneously. Currently, they're doing like 400, 500 drones simultaneously, which is a lot. They want to be able to launch 2,000 drones like in a single attack. This is according to German general, but also Institute for Study of War as well. Listen to this. And some of this was summarized by, I think, Kyiv Independent, or Sky News. Ukrainian Foreign Intelligence Service told Politico in June that the Kremlin plans to produce 2 million first-person view drones and 30,000 long-range and decoy drones in 2025. In the 12 months between September 2022 and August 2023, Russia fired nearly 2,000 Shahed drones into Ukraine. So 2,000 drones over a year from 2022 to 2023. In June of this year, Moscow launched a record 5,300 Shahed drones in June alone. Institute for the Study of War says by November, Russia could have the ability to launch 2,000 drones in a night. Now, they will not be able to launch them every night. They'll have to take a break, but that still is a horrifying number because when you get that many at once, it starts to just overwhelm any kind of system to take them down. So then a lot of them get through, they cause a lot of damage, hurt a lot of people. So very bad. Finally, some good news. Sky News, Italian authorities have canceled a concert over the involvement of pro-Putin Russian conductor Valery Gergiev. Gergiev is regarded as close to the Russian President Putin and has been shunned in the West since Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. He had been expected to lead an Italian orchestra and soloists on Sunday. The Regia di Caserta Palace near Naples, which was due to host the event, said in its statement that the performance had been canceled. The wife of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, who Putin killed, was among those calling for the cancellation. So that's good. Thank you, David. Glad you like the show. I appreciate that. Anyway, so that's it for the news. It's funny. I thought there was a lot of news, but maybe there wasn't. Now we hang and we chat. So that was fast tonight. The news has been quick lately. I don't know why. Maybe I'm talking more quickly. I don't know. I'm going to adjust my camera again. I don't know, like lately I've been wanting to like sit back. I don't know who that is, Dvorkin. I have no idea who that is. Ooh la la. Ooh, there we go. All right, nice. Now I can sit back and relax a little bit. Adjust the light a little bit. Well, a little bit. There we go. There we go. Maybe I did blaze through it. Yeah, I didn't mean to, but I may have gone quickly. Sorry. Anyway. Thank you, Big Hawk. Well, you know what's funny? That when somebody said they liked the show and Big Hawk said consider subscribing. I told you guys the comment from this woman I went to interview in Argentina. I was working at the U.S. Embassy in Argentina one summer years ago and had to go and interview a number of people. And I was interviewing for the embassy. I went and I was interviewing an opposition political leader. What is it? Maria Julia Alzogaray, and very pretty woman, very smart, very sexy. And talking to her, and I think she was the one, she told me in the interview, something about, I think maybe it was being a woman in Argentina, or because we were talking about that, like women in politics in Argentina, whatever. And she was telling me how she was walking down the street. And I think she might have been running for president at this point. I'm not sure. But she was walking down the street. She goes, and I pass a construction site. And the workers, and she's telling me this in the interview, and it was hilarious. She goes, I'm walking by the construction site. And these construction workers look at me and they recognize me because I'm famous, whatever. And they say, Maria Julia, pero qué culo. Like, Maria Julia, what a nice ass you have. They yell at her. And she goes, and I love it because she literally goes like this. She goes, and she stands, she goes, and I looked at them and I said, ¿Te gusta? Potalo. She points to her ass and goes, and I told them, you like it? Vote for it. Which I thought was just the best. Like, what a perfect response. Almost kind of feminist, but not feminist. Like, she was kind of embracing it, but also like throwing it back at them. Anyway, it cracked me up, but I love that. But it just, yeah, Big Hawk made me think of that with, you like the show? Subscribe to it. But te gusta? Botalo. It was very cute. I've got to reach out to Parker again. But she was, and even like she literally got up and she touched her ass. And I said, te gusta? Te gusta? Botalo. It was very funny. She ended up getting some corruption thing or whatever, but still fascinating woman. Like I said, very smart, very pretty. You know. Hola, Jose. Gracias. Where are you? ¿Dónde estás? I can't do the whole show in Spanish because not everybody would understand. I mean, I could do the whole show in Spanish. It would be difficult, but I could. But hey, Abdullah. Anyway, what else? Egyptian blue? What does that mean? Oh, did the Egyptian thing come? Oh, I missed it, Annie. Thank you. I was like, Egyptian blue. I didn't see it, but I've seen it before. Thank you. I saw it mentioned there. Thank you. The Egyptian one kind of cracks me up. It almost isn't PC. Oh, from Dallas. Okay. De Dallas. That's funny. Yeah, I saw that Malcolm Jamal Warner, who was the Theo Huxtable on the Cosby Show, died swimming in Costa Rica. Hey, Cody. Very sad. What's up, you? What's up? Oh, okay. Well, you're taking a break? All right. She must be hot. I'm surprised. The dog is laying down on the floor. That's new. Doesn't usually lay down on the floor. She must be a little warm. Saludos desde Denver. Vamos a hacer todo el programa en español, ¿no? Un día puede ser. Vamos a ver. I can try. I just worry if I start doing the show in Spanish, all of a sudden the algorithm is going to get screwed up. And then like people who come normally will unsubscribe or who knows, but it'd be fun to try. Like I could do this conversation in Spanish. I don't know if I could present the news in Spanish or answering political questions in Spanish. I don't know. You know what I mean? I could have a conversation in Spanish, no problem, or French. But that's the question. We don't know, John. Yeah, we don't know. Yes, exactly. Bill Cosby, bad news. I'm not bilingual, but I am fluent in Spanish. I would not say I'm bilingual, no, but I'm fluent, yes. Abdullah is having fun with all the emojis. I speak Spanish and French very fluently. Italian, I'd say my Italian is quasi fluent. It's hard to say. It's either high level intermediate or early advanced. It's with my Italian because I get by fine in Italy. But hard to say. But Spanish and French are very fluent. And my Greek is rusty. Actually, I did sort of test myself and figured out my Greek was early intermediate. It's beyond beginner, but it's early intermediate. So Spanish, all the languages are fun. I studied a year of Russian. Я учитель по-русски. But how do you say but? It's not no. How do you say but in Russia? I know how to say it in Greek. It's not no. But я не говорю по-русски. Ну? Should say ну? Ну, я не говорю по-русски. Нет. Не можно. I mean, I know words, but, you know. No? But how do you spell it? Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows what happened. No. Не говорю. Я не говорю. Yeah. I can ask Alexa. Alexa, how do you say "but" in Russian? Wait, Alexa, raise your volume. Alexa, how do you say the word "but" in Russian? What is she doing? She's kind of having issues here. Alexa, translate the English word "but" into Russian.
But in Russian is no.
No. Ah, she's saying no. Okay, she's saying no. Okay. She's saying no. So no, but no. I kept thinking Greek because I've been studying more of my Greek lately. In Greek, it's Allah. Allah, which is funny because it sounds like Allah in Arabic, which it's not, of course. No. Oh, it's spelled both ways. Or is that Ukrainian as well? Did I say no? I think I said no. Yeah. Anyway, good enough. Good enough. Anyway. Depends on context. Well, I know Greek, yes. Actually, it does mean no in Greek. That is correct. That is correct. Akrivos. German, I've never tried German. German intrigues me. The thing with German, though, is like, when am I going to use it? A lot of Germans they really do speak English, you know? Thank you, dude. 10 years as a Russian linguist. Wow. I took a year of Russian in college. It was too hard and I gave up. Very difficult. Greek is not easy either. Like studying the language, I find difficult. When I was in Greece, I picked up a lot of Greek, but I find it very difficult to study. They're not easy languages to study. German, I like German, but I'm not sure what the purpose would be of studying German now. You know what I mean? What am I going to do with it? Whereas Italian, I go back to Italy. I love Italy. I go back. I already speak French. Greek, I definitely want to get my Greek better. And I'm trying to get the passport, all the more reason. Teaches Russian and German. Oh, that's interesting. Oops, 1 second here. I want to grab my tissue for this thing. There we go. Okay. My water glass is sweating and I wanted a little cloth underneath it. Well, that's nice. Oh, that's cool. With the Italian family, that's fun. German's way harder than any. German's got to be hard. Again, Greek is not easy. German is similar in terms of Greek has a lot of the declensions and things that Germany has, the cases and all of that. I'm told Germany has. I don't know German. But in Greek, it's not easy. Bavaria. I've never been to Bavaria. I would love to. AI writes German song lyrics for you. That's funny. That's funny. Anyway, Duolingo is interesting. I use Duolingo. It's not bad. Like I've been using it for my Greek and stuff. It's not bad. It's not perfect. Also, like I find with Duolingo, if your language skills are better, it isn't as good. Like for my Italian, it wasn't helping me. It was, I almost couldn't get it difficult enough for my Italian, whereas for Greek, it's helpful. Yes. My languages are all Latin based. Yes. Greek, Spanish, Italian, French. Yes. Yes. Well, Latin. I mean, Greek isn't Latin based. Greek is not. The other ones are. Hold on. Make sure the dog isn't eating dirt on me. Hey. Sasha. 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 That's me crazy. Whenever the dog disappears, it means she's off eating dirt or something. I know it. I know it. That's what she's doing. She's off eating dirt. Oh, she's driving me. My dog drives me insane. One moment before I go yell at her. Hey. Are you completely crazy? Oh my God. Eating dirt. Freaking eat it. Her mouth is. Get over here. Are you crazy? Okay. This is why I say I know my dog. Okay. This is why I say when I said she disappeared, she was eating dirt. She was eating dirt. I know. Oh my God. Dear Lord. God. And then she gets sick later. No, I know my freaking dog. I cleaned the balcony and I've got to go clean it again now. Oh my God. Oh my God. She drives me insane. It's not better dirt though, because she eats dirt and then she gets sick later. Oh my God. She drives me insane. No, because then she doesn't feel well, and it's like, I gotta go out, I don't have to go out. I gotta go out, I don't have to go out. And then it's like, but I know my mom, this used to drive her crazy. My mother was like, oh, leave her alone. She's fine. I'm like, Mom, when she disappears, she's up to something. And she never believed me. I was like, she's up to something. Like we'd have dinner. And sometimes we'd be having dinner and my dog would disappear. And I'm like, I've got to go find my dog. Oh, leave her alone. She's fine. I'm like, Mom, if we're having dinner and Sasha decides not to be in the room with us, it means she's doing something better. And something better is bad. And I go into the other room and I forgot what she was doing. It was bad. like, oh my God. Insane. But I knew it. I told you. She disappeared. And I was like, oh, she's eating. And I found her in the back, like just sucking it up. Jesus Christ. I mean, she's very sweet, but dear God. God. Yeah, when your kids were too quiet, you know. Well, actually, that's exactly right. You think of whether I saw it on television or whatever, like, where are the kids? They're too quiet. What are they doing? Exactly. Like, she disappears, and again, Mom never fully believed me. I'm like, I know my dog. She's up to something, and it's not good. Oh my God. Literally, I saw like some dirt on the ground, all this stuff hanging from her face. I was like, oh. And then she tried to run from me. Yes, now she's in her bed being good. It's like, all right, grow her some green grass. Yeah. Yeah, but grass makes her sick too. The problem too is it makes her throw up later, which I don't want either, because she could throw up in the middle of the night. That's always fun, you know? Anyway, when you can hear them, yeah, exactly. When you can hear them, you know it's safe. I tried vitamins. The problem is the vitamins upset her as well. There's some vitamins online I bought, and they mention like gradually work up. I've tried it previously. I tried it again. It just, you could tell it was upsetting her. So we're not doing the vitamins. The vitamins were a good idea, but they're not working. They were clearly upsetting her stomach. Yeah, the grass thing, there is a Pepto-Bismol for dogs. I have it. It's I actually own it, and I can give her that again. Is Ukraine going to pound Russia soon? Hard to say. I mean, they're clearly doing they're doing a lot of drones. They did a big drone attack last night. Closed down Moscow's airports again. Actually, they closed down airports across Russia last night. The Ukrainians did, which was good news. MAGA polo show. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Newton. I looked good in red shirts before MAGA. And I haven't actually 1 second. I have to show you because this is funny. If I have it handy, 1 second. 1 second. Shoot, now I can't find it. Shoot. Now I can't find it. So I've got I have a hat I got at CNN once, and it's a beautiful CNN hat. You can't get them because you got to get them at CNN, and it's red, and I love red. Red looks good on me. I stopped wearing it, of course, because it's a red baseball hat. Now, it's kind of funny that it's a red baseball hat and says CNN because that's sort of the antithesis of Trump, but still, it's very annoying. So yes, I have a wonderful red baseball hat that says CNN on it. Thank you, Newton. That says CNN on it, but there actually is what I've got for Sasha is dog kaopectate. It's called like propectolin, and the only thing you've got to keep in mind is kaopectate has changed. So like kaopectate is no longer kaopectate for starters. The American one, Google it. It's different now. But the propectolin is like pectin and something else. I forget. It's kind of like kaopectate for dogs, basically. Yeah. So, you know, I'm not afraid of the liberals. I'm afraid of conservatives thinking it's both. I'm afraid liberals are going to think I'm a Trumper, and I'm afraid Trumpers are going to think I'm a Trumper. It's both, you know. They did. They ruined red, you know. So, thank you, Elise. That was an interesting one. The good news is it didn't make any sense. So it's like, okay, you know, you're not trolling very well. I didn't, Jeffrey. I shall. I just looked for the hat. I've got it put away. I meant to, but I basically, since I can't wear the hat, I had it stored away. Otherwise, I was going to show you, but it's you know, gone. Not gone. It's in a bag in my closet, so not really accessible. So unfortunately, why's my hand peeling? That's a little weird, but okay. Weird. A little weird. All right. Anyway, ow. But yeah, the hat is stored away because I had a bunch of baseball hats that I really like, but I didn't want to. I wanted to sort of I'm trying to put things away, and I realized like I can't wear the red one because they ruined it. So I put it away because I was like, "What's the point?" It's a great hat, though. I love it, but what do you do? So anyway, St. Louis Cardinal hat. That's funny. Yeah. Well, I've still got one thing I like. I've got my New York Yankees hat that I like just because I like the NY on it. That hat was so funny. Oh my God. You wear a Yankees hat and people either have to yell in agreement or yell at you. And I stopped wearing because I was like, I don't care about the team. It's a pretty hat. I like the emblem and I like the color. It's like, but it was so funny. It was very funny. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Frank says outside of the US, the color red means being on the left. Well, the color red is communist in a lot of countries. It's the communist color, actually. The red rose and all of that. Maybe socialist, but usually communist. So interesting, yeah. Oops. China. It's the Communist Party of China color too. Yes. Yep. Red China, exactly. You have a Mao hat? I had a Mao hat. Where is my Mao hat? That's funny you say that. I had a Mao hat. I don't know where it is. That's very funny you say that. Yeah, my dad got me a Mao hat in China. Huh. It's very funny you say that. I'm wondering where it is. Thank you, CJ. I don't know where that is. Huh. Yeah, that's another thing Linda just said. Trump, although this is trying to change the topic from him refusing to release the Epstein files, but Trump is now calling on the Washington Redskins that changed their names to the Washington Commanders or something to change their name back to the Redskins because he's upset and he wants the Cleveland Indians to stay the Cleveland Indians. Thank you, Roberto. I accept it. He wants them to, Cleveland Indians are still the Cleveland Indians, aren't they? Wants them to stay that. This is a number of things. This is about just being nasty. It is also about changing the topic away from Jeffrey Epstein. Did they change the name? They did change the name? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I had the Guardians. That's kind of a weird name. It's a little weird. The Guardians. Okay. That's a bit odd. But I think he's trying to change the topic from Jeffrey Epstein. I think he's sincere about it, but I think he's also trying to desperately change the topic from Epstein, you know? Chief strikes me. I'm sorry, but the chief strikes me as a ridiculous thing to worry about. You know, I think Indians, we don't use the word. This kind of stuff bothers me because we don't use the word Indians anymore. So fair enough, right? Redskins, that's a weird one. I mean, Redskins was always a weird one because it's literally like kind of was it ever a positive phrase for Native Americans? I can't imagine. Wasn't it always kind of white people slang for Indians, right? For Native Americans? Wasn't it? That's what I mean. Like I've always thought of it as being a white person slur, right? So that one's weird. calling a group the Indians, okay, the word is out of favor, so maybe. What bothers me is like they went after my University of Illinois because the mascot is a Native American chief or whatever, but he's not. It's not. He's not the mascot actually. That one kind of bothers me because the university is named after the Illini Indians or Illini Native Americans. That one bothers me. I think, and the Chiefs. There's nothing wrong with the word Chiefs. That bothers me. I think at some point you go too far. If it is now, Atlanta doing the thing with the tomahawk. Okay, bit weird. Having said that, even the tomahawk, when it comes down to it, really, Native Americans had tomahawks. Why not embrace it and say that's kind of cool, right? I think some of this is getting ridiculous. Because as I said, my junior high school mascot was the Spartans, and I loved it because they're Greeks. And it was the Spartans, and I was like, I'm Greek, and our mascot was the Spartans, and I freaking loved it. I loved it. And I think to some degree, some of these groups are overreacting. If the name is not a slur, you want people to be talking about you. You want people to be saying that your culture matters. I think it's politically correct, and I think it's a huge mistake because basically you're saying don't talk about us. And it's like, okay, because in America, I got news for you. If you're not talking about Native Americans, it's only making things worse for them, But again, don't do it as a slur, right? Don't do it in a negative way, but in a positive way. You name as many things after ancient Greeks as you want, as far as I'm concerned, right? As many things as you want, So no, so I think that went too far. But again, but like I said, the Chiefs, why would the Chiefs be negative? That's not a slur. It's just not. They don't want to be referenced, but then they're going to be forgotten. And that's a way bigger problem. Yeah. If it's like Chief Wahoo or whatever, who's some kind of goofy caricature, then yeah, of course. If the mascot's a caricature, that's bad, right? But anyway. Okay, John Walsh, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but you sound like you're trying to be offensive. Not sure on that. Are you? Because I'm not. That last one was a little weird. Anyway. Well, we also don't know if that's what it is for the Irish thing. Yeah, but if I were Native American, somebody said the Greeks still have their land. I got news for you. If you don't have your land, you really don't want to be forgotten. We when we were kids in Illinois, we were part of there was a Boy Scouts for kids. Maybe it was nationwide. It was called Indian Guides. And it was like a Boy Scout, but it wasn't. And it was, all I remember was, I'd have to find like the literature on it today. I don't have the background on it, but it was not meant to be mocking or anything else. It was meant to be kind of like Boy Scouts, but this Native American themed. And I don't remember it well enough to know positive or negative. I'm going to Google this on ChatGPT. I don't remember well enough to know whether there were caricatures involved, but tell me about the group. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, I can talk to this. Hold on. Oops. When I was young, growing up in Illinois, I was a member of a youth group called Indian Guides, period. Tell me about that group. This is interesting. Let's see what ChatGPT says. They were part of the YMCA. Oh, that's interesting. Really? That's interesting. The YMCA Indian Guides was a national father-child, initially father-son program. Oh, interesting. So girls can join. Founded in 1926 by Harold Keltner of St. Louis YMCA and Joe Friday and and Joe Friday, an Ojibwa guide from Canada. Oh, that's fascinating. Okay, that's fascinating. A Canadian native founded it. The goal, strengthen men's relationship with their kids by engaging in outdoor activities, camping, crafts, storytelling with a theme structure inspired by indigenous cultures. How the program worked. Fathers, big braves, and kids, little braves, joined small tribes of 6 to 9 families. A chief, tally keeper, tom-tom beater, and other roles organized ceremonies, stories, songs. Activities include making headdresses, drum circles, powwows, and camping, mixed bonding time with playing Indian rituals. By the 1960s, participation peaked at 250,000 annually. This was the 1960s, by the way. Post-World War II expansion added mother-daughter and father-daughter variants like Indian princesses, braves, and maidens. Around 2003, due to growing awareness of cultural appropriation, the YMCA rebranded it as Y Adventure Guides or Y Guides, dropping the stereotypical imagery. Legacy and critique. Many participants cherish the memories of father-son bonding. Scholars criticize it as a classic case of playing Indian. White families romanticizing and stereotyping indigenous cultures through customs and rituals. Advocates point out it built genuine father-child connections. Interesting, but one of the guys who founded it, it was founded, Joe Friday, Ojibwa. Hold on. Tell me more about Joe Friday. That's fascinating. That's fascinating. Wow. Huh. Co-founder of the Indian Guides, born Atik Caribou in 1887 in Matagami, Northern Ontario, alongside his twin sister Charlotte, raised on Bear Island, Temagami, after his father passed, mentored by his uncle, Chief White Bear, in hunting, trapping, and witness survival. Internalized a profound belief in the importance of father-son mentorship. The two should grow up together as 2 boys and 2 men. Met Harold Keltner of the St. Louis YMCA in the 1920s on a canoe trip to Bear Island. Their friendship began when Joe treated Keltner's injured finger. The moment sparked Keltner's idea of father-son wilderness programs. In 1924 to 26, Joe served as instructor, sparked the first tribe. His Ojibwe wisdom became the 6 aims. That's crazy. I'm kind of blown away by that. Now, granted, things can change, but that's kind of crazy that Indian Guides was founded by 2 men, one of whom was a native Canadian. Or they say indigenous. I forget the word the Canadians use. That's pretty wild. Now, that doesn't mean, now the thing is though, things change, right? It was founded in the 19, whatever the heck it was. And I remember they did have headdresses and things like that, right? And then you got to the point where that wasn't considered appropriate. So things do change, you know? First Nations. Yeah, I try not to use the word though, because it's not used here, Dawn. So people don't know what that means when you say it here. I also forget the term. But I try not to use those terms because it doesn't mean anything here in America. Or you try to use both terms. Like I'd say Canadians say First Nations, meaning Native Americans, what we would say. Yeah, but Indigenous, I know that's another word Canadians use that I would not use as an American. Indigenous has kind of a background that makes it sound like you're a tribe in the Amazon or something. You know, I don't know. It strikes me as a little negative. But in any case, really interesting. Really interesting. Northern Michigan. Okay, we do not anywhere else. That's interesting. Interesting. Any case, whatever. So that's funny. There you go. Indian Guides. Yeah. But no, I think, like I said, I think they've gone a little too far. And I call it inning, like outing, inning. I think some groups have like the Native Americans have themselves a little too much. And that's not beneficial for them. They should have their culture out there. They should have people embracing the culture. They should do it in a way that's positive and say, yeah, we don't mind you referencing us, but have good references. I mean, have it not be negative stereotypes. But I think saying don't name sports teams after anything Native American, okay, then you're not going to get mentioned. All right. Right. I mean, it's like, okay. So anyway, oh, it's already 7:05. Wow. We've been chattering away, not about politics, but that's okay. We don't always. Oh. My wonderful aunt in Greece is going to go by and look for some of the documents I need. I gave her the phone number of the local village archivist because I'm trying to get Greek citizenship, but I need all these documents. And I gave her the phone number and said, do you mind calling them? And she said, I'm just going to go by. It's half an hour drive from here. I'm going to go in person. And I was like, thank you. Because God knows it'll be easier in person probably, but it's still no guarantee. But she might be able to get more done in person. So we'll see. But ongoing drama. So I think they use Two-Spirit for gay too, Dawn. I think it's Two-Spirit might be everybody. I thought Two-Spirit was gay. I may be wrong, but that's what we were always told. Yeah, no need for food talk tonight. My tomato plant is dying. I don't know if Poppy is here. I knew it was having problems. It was having problems from the beginning, and I could tell. And the plant is just dying away. I moved it into the ChatGPT said it's not getting enough sun. I moved it into good sunlight. It's dying. Yeah. Oh, you are there. It's dying, and I can't figure out what the hell. I even used new soil. It doesn't need Miracle Grow. That's not the problem. The whole plant is. The lower things were starting to die off, and I was like, I find tomatoes difficult. It's funny. I who have the wonderful garden, but I find tomatoes difficult. But it bummed me out because I've gotten 10 cherry tomatoes out of it. I think it caught something. Yeah, I think it did. What do you do? But it's so annoying. Very, very, very annoying. It is. I've always had a hard time with tomatoes. It's just for me at least. They've always been difficult. And you got to be careful because of the soil thing. Tomatoes kind of ruin the soil. Aspirin. What do you do with the aspirin with tomatoes? They come back every year. That's funny. What do you do with aspirin? I mean, this I think is some kind of blight or something. And it's in a container. Yeah. Crush it and put it in the soil. I can. I mean, the thing's not happy at all. Your dog ate all your tomatoes, and my dog eats all the soil. Oh, she's in her little bed. Oh, she's doing her thing with the bed that cracks me up. She's got a cat bed, but sometimes it's so small that the bed starts to kind of tip over, which cracks me up. I'm going to try to get a picture of this. Hold on. It's very funny. Yeah. Oops, hold on. There we go. Oops. That's not bad. I think that might be a good enough picture. Let me see. I may have to try to walk over here and get one. Hello, you. All right. Here we go. She cracks me up. I get her a cat bed. She's in her cat bed, but the bed is like tipping over because it's not that big and she's sitting in it funny. I just find it funny. Like just the angle cracks me up. I just find that very cute. That the bed is like tipping over. And then she saw me get up, so now she's out of the bed. But it is very funny. She's such a little trip. Such a little trip. My Indian princess. Oh, what more water, of course. More water. Actually, we're going to hang up in a second here, I think. It's getting late. All right, you. All right. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. All right. Oh, man. All right. Well, on that note, your guinea pigs mugged your tomato plants? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I can try putting let me see what this says really quick about the the storm thing has not been good. Let me see. what's the deal with adding aspirin to tomato plants? Is your title your name? Oh, that's my last name, Gene. Aravosis is my last name. Yeah. If that's what is that what you mean, I think? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to help a tomato headache. A gardening hack based on actual science. Okay, hang on. Aspirin's active ingredient is acetylsalicylic acid, synthetic version of salicylic acid, which is a natural plant hormone. Get out of here. Plants produce salicylic acid when they're under stress to activate their immune response. Oh, claim benefits boost immunity. Oh, helping it resist fungal infections. Get out of here. Huh. Dissolve 1 regular aspirin in 1 gallon of water. Optionally, add a drop of dish soap to help it stick to leaves. Oh, spray it onto leaves or water at the base every 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, really? Don't you dare. She's going out there again, but I've got a feeling I'm going to have to go and make sure she's not eating dirt again. Interesting. Okay. Scientific backing is mixed. Okay. Okay. So 325 milligrams for 1 gallon. Okay, I'm going to try it. Why not? Why not? Can't hurt. I mean, I don't have a full, I don't think, I've got baby aspirin. I don't actually, no, I do have a full aspirin. You know what I did? I bought a full aspirin to have on deck because I got scared of people talking about having heart attacks and stuff, you know? So I like put some aspirin in the thing just to, the problem is I wonder like, how do you know if you're having a heart attack? You know, there's that, but nonetheless, I never had heard that. That's crazy. Wow. I did not know that. That's kind of funny. So it's a thing that's not entirely crazy. Studies are questionable, but still very interesting. Aspirin. All right. Now I'm going to go get my dog because she's doing it again. Sasha! Sasha! Jesus Christ. All right. I'm going to go. God damn it. She's doing this again. I'm going to go. I was going to sign off anyway, but she's eating dirt again. She went literally back to the spot she was at. Drives me insane, this dog. All right. See you guys tomorrow night. I'm literally signing off so I can go save the dog from throwing up later. Drives me insane. Bye, guys. Oh, I hate her sometimes.